Greetings, my excellent friends. TheDeadMonk welcomes you to Purgatory. So I've been playing Blazing Chrome lately, and I recommend this game. I think it's great. You can get it on... Well, I got it on Good Old Games, you can get it on Steam, you can get it on the Switch. I'm sure it's also on PlayStation and Xbox, but I haven't looked there. Don't think you can get it on Epic Games. I'm fine with that. I think it's $17, or your local currency equivalent. Alright, so this game, it's not terribly long, but it does have a lot of replayability, so that's okay. That's a good compromise. Plays very much like Contra. To me, it felt most like Contra Shattered Soldier that was on the PlayStation 2. It looks more like a Super Nintendo era Contra in terms of the graphics, but to me it plays a lot like Contra Shattered Soldier. Now, there are also elements of Metal Slug mixed in, and to me I got a little bit of, with the replayability, some Mega Man X, and then, well, there's even a sequence in there that made me think of Battletoads. Now, this being a game that's just like Contra, I did try out the Konami code. I couldn't get it to work, so I don't think they put the Konami code in there. That's too bad. But that's okay. We don't need that. That would just make the game too easy. So as I said, it plays a lot like Contra. You start off, you have a couple characters to choose from. These are your ranged characters. And you pick one of them, they're really the same, they just look different. And you have 4 missions to pick from. Once you beat all 4 missions, then you can access the 5th mission, and then you beat that, you access the 6th. And yeah, the missions play very much like Contra. I found most of the levels pretty challenging, at least the first few times. Eventually I was able to beat them all. It took me playing on normal difficulty about 3 hours to beat the game. I mean, somebody better could certainly beat it faster, or if I played on easy mode, yeah, could have beaten it faster, but it took me about 3 hours. Now, that's not a long time, but once you do beat the game, then you access, at least once you beat it on normal, then you can access hardcore mode, where now you don't have unlimited continues, and now it's going to be really rough. I haven't tried that yet. But you get some other modes, a boss rush mode, a mirror mode, where you just play the game. It's a mirror image, so not a big difference there. And you also then get 2 new characters you can choose from, and these are your melee characters. So this is why I said it feels kind of like Mega Man X, where you kind of play a completely different game, playing as Mega Man as when you play the game as Zero. Zero has a sword instead of a gun, and so you're attacking close range. Well, it's the same thing here. Once you get those new characters, they have a melee attack. Now you can charge it up and basically fire out a gun. I mean, it looks like it's a little shockwave from swinging your weapon, but whatever, it's like a gun. But mostly, yeah, you have close range weapon. But now you can play through the game again and it's very different. You have to have a completely different playstyle. So you have some replayability there. And then, as I said, you have a boss rush mode. I didn't get to that yet. So even though you might get through the game in a few hours, still you probably want to play through it multiple times. And I'm going to. It was quite fun. So I found the game just frustrating enough to piss me off here and there, but not frustrating enough that I wanted to quit. And frustrating enough that then it's, you feel rewarded when you actually finally beat a level. Now, the missions... Each mission is fairly long, and you have some mini-bosses, and then you get to the main boss. But there are checkpoints along the way, so if you do run out of lives, you continue at the checkpoint. I mean, I probably would have had a huge amount of difficulty getting through some of these missions if I had to start the entire mission over when running out of lives. Yeah, the checkpoints made it a lot easier to get through. Now, if you play on hardcore mode, you have only 3 continues. It's probably going to take me a long time to beat the game on that mode. I mentioned Battletoads earlier. There's one mission where it's basically like level 3 of Battletoads, the Turbo Tunnel. Not as long as that, but yeah, you're riding on a little hover bike thing and jumping over spikes and over pits. And yeah, it's kind of like Battletoads. I appreciated that this game lets you remap all the buttons for your controls, so you can choose whatever you want. I appreciate that, because some people don't use Xbox controllers, so don't force everyone's button layout to be an Xbox controller layout. I appreciate that. There are also some filters you can apply in the options. So it's kind of like playing on an emulator, where you can just get the default graphical setting, just the raw image getting put out. You can turn on a couple different CRT filters to make it look like you're playing on an old CRT television. Or then there's another setting, another filter that smooths all the corners. And yeah, this is something that you can use in emulators, playing old NES and SNES games and whatever else. Smooth out those jagged edges, make the game look a little nicer. So I appreciate that. It was fun playing in different settings there. I don't think I'll play in the CRT modes, but the regular and the smoothed versions, yeah, I'll play both of those. Now, one thing I would recommend is, anytime you're going to be facing a boss, make sure you have some special weapons. If you come in with just the regular gun, it might be rough. I had cases where the boss took me so many tries when I had the regular weapon, and then I go in with a grenade launcher and wipe the floor with the boss. So make sure you always have some special weapons available. Whenever you die, like in Contra... once you had Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo... Wait, was that Contra 3? Yeah, Contra 3 Alien War. Once you had Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo, you could have 2 special weapons and switch between them, and what happened was, whenever you died, if you were using a special weapon at the time, you would lose that gun, but you would still have the other one. Well, on this one, you can have 3 weapons. There are 3 other weapons you can get, and it's the same thing. You can switch between them, and if you die, you lose the one you carry. So if you go into a boss, make sure you have at least 1 weapon. So, closing thoughts? If you like Contra, old school Contra, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis Contra, you'll probably get quite a lot out of this game. You'll enjoy it thoroughly. I know I did. Right, so if that kind of game is your style, give this a shot. Until next time, be excellent to each other. Farewell.